Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. I am absolutely delighted to be back doing my live stream on Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's been interesting with the starting of my new part-time job that I've been at for um, a little under a month now. But it's been good, and it also has been getting me out of the house and taking up my time, and also weirdly enough has been attracting more people to my tarot business as well, because isn't that always the way when you're like if you want something done, give it to a busy person and they'll figure out a way to get it done. I think that's kind of what's going on. So it's really, really great. I'm really happy about it. I had an hour-long Zoom reading yesterday morning. I had a half-hour phone reading this morning, and I think I'm scheduled for another hour-long Zoom reading on Sunday. So like check the real-time availability on my online scheduler on my website. Tarotbyhilary.com is the place to find that. And I look forward to working with you as my schedule allows. But all of the my availability is updated in real time on my website, which is the reason why I love my scheduler. I use Acuity. It's fantastic. I love it. So hello to Sophia. Sophia is here. Lynn is here as well. And so is Katie. So welcome. Welcome if you're watching for the first time or if you're a regular viewer. I'm happy to have you here. And let me go ahead and upload my intro for tonight. But basically, spoiler alert, there is no set schedule. There is no set topic for tonight's episode. We are just wrapping together, and any questions that you might have for me, I'll absolutely tackle. I did get requests for different topics, because I did a really quick gram of Insta Live the other day, and one of the topics requested was mediumship and tarot, to connect with specific people that have passed. And I'm just like, we've done it. We've done it before. We've done an episode on tarot and mediumship, and so I was able to send them the link right away for the replay. I'd be happy to tackle that topic again if you'd like, but I think that when I looked back on that replay, I was just like, wow, we really covered that pretty well. And then another suggestion for a topic was, how do you choose which spread to use for people? And I haven't answered them there, but I'll answer here. And basically, it's just like, I use my intuition. I think it would be a very short episode. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that. So the spammers are starting early tonight. If you're being contacted by someone in the chat while I am doing this show, please know that I'm not affiliated with them. And yeah, so I think it's kind of rude when people do that. This is my show. And if you would like to host your own show about different tarot and metaphysical topics, you can do so, but don't come on my show. Yeah. And we do have Sophia that is wearing her moderator hat right now. So she's going to be taking care of that if that happens to come up. So, but please know I'm not affiliated with those kind of people, and I would never do that. Anyway. So here is the intro for tonight, and I will be back in 27 seconds, I believe. Enjoy. All right, we are back. I hope you like the new intro that I did. That one's more of a generic, evergreen one, especially if I'm not doing a specific topic or teaching a specific topic. Um, so yeah, about spreads, and choosing spreads. Like I'm actually quite boring with the spreads that I do. I generally do 3 to 5 cards for each question, variation on basically a 3 card spread. Or I will do a Celtic cross with no significator, no purposely chosen significator. I usually allow the tarot to suggest the significator, or like the present situation, basically, is how I read the very first card in a Celtic cross. And if you want to know more about that and how I read a Celtic cross or a 3 card spread, or how I modify a 3 card spread, you can find that information in my book, How to Read Tarot, that came out in November. There's an entire chapter on the bread and butter of my tarot reading practice, which is the basic 3 card spread, and also the 11 card Celtic cross. Now, when I was asked to write this book by my publisher, they basically asked me, like, they kind of gave me, like, here's the chapters that we want, and you write as you see fit. And there's another one popping up in there, probably the same exact one once you've blocked that one. So Sophia is on it. Just please ignore that person. So for the 11 card Celtic cross, I say about it, there's a reason why it's a go-to spread for so many readers. It's an excellent spread when you're looking for an overall snapshot of a situation that has many layers and forks to it. When you have a situation where you feel your work is reflecting your love life, is reflecting your family life. We all have areas in our lives where if one area is affected, it pulls on the threads of the other areas. So in those cases, I really recommend doing a Celtic cross, because it provides a great snapshot. And it's just like, here's how this thread pulls on this thread. Um, so it's considered a classic. And it's such a classic. It appears in so many little white books of tarot decks, and it's so strongly tied with tarot that many of my clients have heard of this spread without even being familiar with the basic components of a tarot deck itself. Like, they know more about a Celtic cross spread, or have heard about a Celtic cross spread, rather than understanding that, like, the devil, the fool, the empress, like, they know the spread or the name of the spread, more so than they would know the individual card names of the tarot. That's how, popular the Celtic cross can be. There are many, like, must you learn it to be considered a true tarot reader? No. And there's many successful readers that throw the cards and see what they see and don't even use spreads. So, but anyway, I do talk about doing a Celtic cross with a significator and without a significator. In my practice, I don't use a significator. So you would have to decide for yourself if you would or would not use a significator. A significator card is often chosen on purpose by looking at a deck face up, describing personality traits of the client, and making the choice of card based on that. In the past, significator cards were chosen by using physical appearance or age, and often used the court cards. Choosing a significator card by physical appearance seems to be an outdated practice, and many modern tarot readers using significators will choose them based on personality traits and in conversation with the client. That's, like, if I were to work with court cards in that way, I would definitely be guided by personality traits, or sometimes even astrological signs too, because I don't want to. Yeah, I say it. I write it here in the book. I personally don't use significators, allowing the tarot to guide me by shuffling and using the first card pulled as both a significator and a present moment card or present situation card. So, so those are, like, the main 2 spreads that I use. Now, Are there many spreads out there? Like, absolutely. Like, and also we had this question come up in Card Slingers, I think, where people were just like, "Do you have to memorize spreads?" God, no. No, no. I do happen to have the Celtic Cross spread memorized, but that's only because I use it so much that I didn't memorize it on purpose, for sure. I just have it memorized because I used it so often. But there are many readers that don't memorize, tarot spreads. Like, you don't have to memorize your tarot spreads because there's so many different ones out there. So I would encourage you to not beat yourself up if you don't have the Celtic Cross spread memorized, because most people don't. Like, go easy on yourself, have compassion for yourself as you're learning a new skill like the tarot. That's what I have to say for that. So I think it's a great question, and we might do it for an upcoming episode if people are interested in it, if you want to know like how to choose spreads. But how I choose spreads is purely by intuition and by feel. And then sometimes clients will ask me, "Can you do a Celtic Cross for me? Can you do a 3 card reading for me?" Or they have a specific spread in mind that they'll bring to me, and I'll do it. Just like, "Yeah, sure. Like, we can totally do that if you want to do this or you want to do that." Or like, I know that Ethany has come out with so many good um, spreads based on, I think, the new moons and the full moons, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, she has like spreads that she'll put up, and like some breeders will put them up on social media and be like, here, you use the spread and tell me how it goes and tell me what cards came up for you. But I think spreads are, to focus the reading, to help the reader understand what's coming up. And I think we did do an entire episode of the Card Slingers about spreads, and whether or not to use them, and what their value is. And no, you don't have to memorize them. Please, God, like, don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Anyway, um, so by the way, Sophia is having just go ahead and at Sophia in the chat. Let her know if anything else is going on that's not copacetic. That's not cool. And we will wear our moderator hats and take care of it. Okay, so let me see if I have a general thing in here. What is this one? No, that is an unboxing. Not doing an unboxing tonight. We're not doing tarot and astrology. Not doing the Sabbath series. Hold, please. All right, this is close enough. This is basically the agenda. So let me explain the agenda, even though it is not December 9th of 2022, but this is a great this sidebar is a great example of our agenda that we usually do for every live stream. So we start off the episode with the astro weather from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest, which is an email subscription, astrology in layman's terms, geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I found it to be very, very helpful in my own personal life. I read from there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that you can enter into the weekend prepared, not scared. And then we have the topic of tonight's episode. Tonight, it's not live stream 12/9/2022. It's live stream 4/21/23. But that is the main topic. Any questions that you might have, and just basically checking in with you, seeing if you're enjoying the Diablo, the Sanctuary Tarot deck, which is what I've been using. So see if you've been liking that, seeing what decks you've been using recently, etc. Katie's also thanking you, Sophia. I'm crashed in bed with my back seized. I thank you for your moderating in advance. Yes, we all thank Sophia for her moderator hat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And healing energy to you, Katie. Actually, I just found out about surrogate tapping, so I might add you into my surrogate tapping, which is like you can do tapping on behalf of somebody else. So if you're open to that, Katie, just let me know, and I will send you good energy that way. So yeah, live stream is the live stream. You know, any questions that you might have, anything that's on your mind, let me know. And then we'll do the mid-episode reading. That will be pulled by our lottery jar, and I will walk you through that. One lucky person is going to win a reading with me on air. Usually I do a 3-card reading. So that will be happening in the middle of the episode. And then at the end of the episode, we have the weekend forecast, which is me pulling a tarot card or an oracle card to guide you into the weekend. So if that sounds good to everybody, go ahead and say yay in the chat. And Sophia says, ooh, that's very cool, like Reiki. Yeah, it's kind of like Reiki, like distance healing for Reiki, but tapping. And Katie says, thank you, Hilary. Absolutely open to tapping in all forms. You got it. I will definitely do that for you. I did that actually for a coven mate of mine who is in the hospital right now. And I basically said, like there was healing energy requested. So I basically said, I'm going to do surrogate tapping. I'm going to try this out. It's actually a video from Brad Yates. So Tap with Brad on the Tube of You. And I think I added it to my EFT tapping playlist on the Tube of You, on my Tube of You channel. So if that interests you, EFT tapping interests you, there's a bunch of videos that I have personally tapped with myself, and then I also have my own tapping videos that I've created. I think I've done 3 so far. I still have to get around to doing the tapping for knowing that everything's going to work out or that everything's going to be okay. That's the one that was most requested next. So all right, shall we get started with the AstroBiz Digest? Yes. I think I'm going to pull it from my phone this time so that I have everything on screen here, and so I can also moderate as well. Okay, I know the Book of Face is working here. Is the Tube of You working? Let me take a look. I hope so. I would think so. Let me turn down the volume on this and check. Yep. And there's another one. Please ignore any and all requests that sound like I feel a strong vibration, beloved, message me now. No, like don't. Okay. Yes, and Katie is also verifying. Yes, it was working when I looked earlier. Thank you, Katie. Okay, so let us pull up the AstroBiz Digest. Now, and oh, the Tube of You notifies me first. Cool. All right. Love that you guys are getting the notifications and that things are working correctly in that way. I will say that the big things from memory, I'm going to definitely look, but the big things that I've been seeing from memory is the eclipse. I think it was the eclipse that happened yesterday, and I believe Mercury went retrograde today. If it didn't go retrograde today, it's either today or tomorrow. So I am not at all surprised at the little spammer shit popping up. Not in the slightest. All right. Gosh, I've just got a lot of email in here. Okay, weekly forecast for April 17th through the 23rd, 2023. Yeah. Okay. So Sophia's saying the eclipse rocked my shit. Someone's asking for a card. You can be in the running for a reading. That will happen mid-episode. So let me actually put up the crawler to remind people about that. But right now we're doing astrology, so you may want to stay tuned for the astrology. Katie says solar eclipse biggie. Western Australia even got a full solar eclipse. Very cool. That's awesome. Did you get a chance to check that out, Katie? Of course, being safe during an eclipse. Not looking directly at it and all that jazz. Okay, so this sidebar is going to bother me. I think I'm going to have to change that before we get any further because I'm just like, it's not the right date. So while I'm pulling that up, I think I can do the AstroBiz Digest at the same time. So first up, the new moon solar eclipse in Aries is high in the sky on the 20th. Yeah, so that was yesterday, 20th at 12:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which puts an unpredictable edge into the week. The energy is turbulent but exciting. It could be the beginning of a new phase in your biz, but on the other hand, it's also possible an opportunity may land in your lap out of the blue. So you'll want to hold off on making moves until a few days have passed. By then, you'll be able to see if this is a real deal or a bummer. So, how is that feeling to people? Is that feeling accurate? Like, do we have these? Do we have solar eclipse stories that we've got going on here? Oh, that's cool. Saw on TV live. Awesome. That is absolutely fascinating. All right, I'm gonna do this right now. Live stream for 21, 23. And I'm going to put that on to the next thing. Perfect. Good. Transparent background and download. All right, let me download that and I'll keep going. Oh, it already worked. Cool. Hold please. Let me add this overlay. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, cool. So next, the sun enters Taurus on the 20th at 4:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So unfortunately, it's no longer Aries season, folks. My favorite season because I am an Aries. It's Taurus season. After weeks of fiery Aries vibes, this is gentle and chill. Taurus season is superb for creating content, beautifying your surroundings, and investing in your biz. It's also an excellent few weeks for cash attraction, so you'll defo want to level up your marketing. The more you're seeing, the more green you'll see. Watch out for stubborn clients. People can be extra during this transit if you allow it. The sun will move into Gemini on May 21st. So we've got at least a month, around a month of or like a little less than a month of Taurus energy. Mercury stations retrograde on the 21st, so that is today, adding a heavy dose of frustration into the month. If you're not careful, spending could get out of control, so you'll want to do your homework before opening your business checkbook. People will test your patience during this transit as well. You may find yourself gritting your damn teeth on more than one occasion. If you're trying to negotiate anything, expect it to be slow going. Same with travel. Detours can derail your plans if you're hitting the road. Sigh. Carve out an extra just in case time and you'll be able to keep your cool. and Mercury will be in retrograde until May 14th. So we do have Mercury retrograde going on. I did do a podcast episode on Mercury retrograde, both on my standalone podcast, the Tarot by Hilary podcast, and also Card Slingers Coast to Coast. We did a Mercury and Gatorade episode as well. So just because that happened a while ago, or we recorded it a while ago, the basic subjects that Mercury affects are going to remain the same: travel, technology, and communication. So remember to double and triple check everything. Make sure that you add in time to your travel plans. Make sure that you are communicating clearly and effectively, and have patience with technology. Don't buy new technology or gadgets at this time, if you can't help it. And also make sure that you're baking extra time into any and all travel plans. That is my big advice for surviving and thriving during Mercury retrograde. Okay. So Katie says lots of things of progress happened on that eclipse day. Also, when my back started to seize. Yeah, it's like everything at once, right? Okay, so that's the big energy that's going on this over the week. So now let's get into the details for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday, today, April 21st, the big news: Mercury is officially retrograde at 4:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get ready for travel slowdowns, tech drama, and online tomfoolery. Read the info above the daily horoscopes to learn more. I already did that. Hit up social media when the moon is conjunct Uranus at 8:09 a.m. A well-made meme could get the public in a spending mood. The rest of the day is slow but productive. You can make tons of progress on anything you put your mind to. At 11:41 p.m., the moon will be void, but you'll be sleeping or hanging out with friends instead of working, right? Smart. Today, Friday, April 21st, is a power day for Taurus and a weekday for Scorpio. Thank you, Sophia. For those looking for readings, stay tuned for the mid-episode reading. Everyone has a chance to be put in the pool to potentially win a reading. Thank you for reminding people of that, Sophia. And Sophia is also saying, I've had a lot of craziness with school and relationships. Yep. There's that astrological reason, right? All right, for Saturday, the moon is in Gemini all weekend, which means you can get a grip on your inbox. It is also dope for writing, blogging, podcasting, studying, sending out newsletters, and public speaking. Avoid any of that on Saturday at 3 p.m. when the moon squares Saturn. It's super flaky and grumpy then, ideal for playing hooky. Sunday finds the moon conjunct Venus at 8:43 a.m. Perfect for sending newsletters, pitching the media, or hosting a fun live stream. Make an effort to connect and it will pay off. The moon Chiron sextile at 1:47 p.m. is your hotspot to deliver an inspirational message to the world. How can you be a light in the darkness? Look for ways to spread good energy. It feels good to do good. Mercury sextile Mars at 11:19 p.m. opens the door for lively marketing over the next 3 days. But hey, it's late. That can wait until Monday. Both days, Saturday and Sunday, are power days for Gemini and weekdays for Sagittarius. Whew. So that is what's going on. And the tarot card of the week, I'm just going to really quickly tell you the tarot card of the week, because she does do a tarot card of the week too. So this is like a little bonus. I don't usually do this. So the tarot card of the week is the Fool. What can you put behind you? That's a great question to ask with this solar eclipse week. Change is afoot, so there's no reason to hang on to old ideas, outworn projects, or partnerships that have gone way past their expiration date. Instead, use this week to clean out your business closet. That way, you can welcome fresh inspiration, relationships, and offers. The more you let go, the freer you are to go to new places. All right. So at this time in the episode, I usually ask if anyone had a particularly trying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, so that I can really briefly look at the Astrobiz Digest. I'm not giving away the entire farm because that would not be fair to Teresa. But I would recommend if this is something that you like to hear or see or you're vibing. Um, hmm. Blocked out by this. Hold on a second. If you're vibing with the Astrobiz Digest, you can purchase a copy for yourself, $99 for the whole year. And you can find that at thetarotlady.com/Astrobiz Digest. Because we want to uplift other people's work and we want you to purchase other people's work. And I don't want to give away the farm because that would not be cool for Teresa. I want to encourage you to get a copy of the Astrobiz Digest for yourself. It's well worth it. And pop that back up. All right. So Sophia's saying Thursday sucked, but that was the eclipse. So that tracks. And Katie says, yep, exactly. So let's take a look at Thursday. We know the solar eclipse, 12:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means if you're on Central Time or west of it, you get this vibe on Wednesday night. It signifies a huge shift, so it's best to lay low for a few days to see how this shakes out for you. The moon slipped into steady Taurus, which provided quick relief after that eclipse jolt. Let's see. And the Taurus moon is ongoing until Saturday. Tackle practical matters when the moon sextiles Saturn around 8:30 a.m. And then there was Sun squared Pluto in the afternoon, the early afternoon, 12:27 p.m. So wannabe dictators and power mongers. If you're trying to negotiate anything, good luck with that. You'll need it. So, yeah. So I don't think it was just the solar eclipse that was affecting you. It could have also been the sun squaring Pluto too. Yeah. I had the days either side of the eclipse too. Those days seemed crazy. Because, a lot of the time it's not just like we talk about how the full moon brings out the crazy, but actually, like, when you're affected by the new moon 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. The same thing with the full moon. You're affected 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. So, and then other people get harder hit by the Mercury retrograde shadow period before Mercury actually goes retrograde than they do for the actual Mercury retrograde. So I would always encourage you to take a look at your chart. If you don't know, if you don't have your natal chart, you don't know your natal chart, you can always go to websites such as astro.com or cafeastrology.com and get your natal chart done for free. And it gives you a lot of information. And then you can kind of understand, well, okay, if someone has like their natal Mercury retrograde, usually that means that they can handle Mercury retrogrades when they happen because they were born under a Mercury retrograde. So it's almost like they naturally know how to navigate that. The same can be said if, like, Mars, if Mars is in Aries, like my natal Mars is in Aries. So I can deal with that energy a little bit easier. So I'm not as affected by it. So it's definitely like knowing your natal chart and knowing that you are not just your sun sign can help you make sense of astrology subscription services such as the Astrobiz Digest. So Sophia says, I had someone I was kind of talking to do a complete 180 on me. Suddenly now they don't have any mental space for anything. Happens, but whoa, whiplash. Yeah, I think that's the key word, is whiplash. Like, and also, taking things with a grain of salt, um, during an eclipse season too. Where was it that Teresa said that? The new moon solar eclipse in Aries. It's unpredictable, it's turbulent but exciting. Could be the beginning of a new phase in your biz, could be an opportunity landing in your lap out of the blue, but 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 you may not know whether it's a real deal or a bummer until, that astrological phenomenon passes. So you may have to wait a couple of days to see if this is like deal is like too good to be true or not. Katie says, I'm always hit by pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. Things go a little wild. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's the Astro Biz Digest. So we've got the astrology done. Yep. I've also been told eclipses are like 10 times more energy than normal new or full moon. Yep. Yep. I have heard that as well. Probably from Teresa. All right. All right. I'm shutting that off and shutting that down. I have my Fitbit on do not disturb because mom has just been texting me all day. It's been a lot. But now I can understand like some of the miscommunications that have been happening this week. It's not like we want to blame astrology for everything, but it certainly like is helpful that that we have it there, to better understand what we're navigating. So there's a couple of options for tonight's live stream. I can answer some questions for y'all. Um, Anything that's coming to mind right now. I can talk a little bit about the Diablo, the Sanctuary Tarot deck, which has been my card polls for the week. I am realizing that I was going to produce a podcast episode because it is Friday, but then I just realized that I just didn't have the mental bandwidth. So I think I'm just going to take the week off and not do a new podcast episode this week. I think the last podcast episode that I did was, I don't know. I think for card slingers, we did episode 75, Too Many Dang Card Meetings, where we talk about the little white book and the companion book and whether it's a friend or a foe. Oftentimes it can be friend, but when your own intuitive meanings start to come personally and naturally to you, it can be a little bit of detriment because then you're just like, oh, well, I'm getting something completely different. Is that good? Is that bad? Like what is this? Where is this? My library. I'm trying to look and see what the last episode I did for my own podcast. I have to scroll down. There I am. Oh, yeah, I did an episode of my own on that too. Episode 35, The Little White Book or Companion Guidebook, Is It Friend or Foe? So, you have different ways of looking at that topic from, 3 tarot readers discussing it with each other. And then, my standalone podcast, the Tarot by Hilary podcast, I also have opinions on that. And that was pulled from day 3 of my card a day challenge video. So that audio is pulled from that particular video. Let me take a look. Yeah. Because that can be a very scary moment in your tarot reading learning is, oh, I'm getting something different than what the book says. Like, does that mean I'm wrong and they're right? And it's just like that's a natural step. It's a natural step in the process. In fact, I think I talk about that in my book too. I just can't remember where I put it. I think I might have bookmarked it. I hope I might have bookmarked it. Yes, I did. Companion books as a study tool. Companion books are the little white books that come with a deck are a great resource, but they start to become a hindrance when you find that they conflict with your own intuitive hits or insights. This can be a scary moment in your tarot learning, but keep going. It is a sign that the voice of your intuition, which sounds very like you, is starting to speak and use the language of the tarot to its advantage. Katie says, I used to use the phrase what strikes me or what jumps out to me, and then the recipient usually clicks with that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, I will usually preface, or I used to preface with, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I have learned that the more off the wall thing that I say is usually the thing that holds the most resonance. And I've also found that when I am guided to use a deck with someone, or whether or someone is attracted to a particular deck without knowing why, I go with that, and it usually turns out to be whatever card they receive with that deck. Um, that symbol in that deck doesn't usually appear. Um, in a more traditional version of the tarot, like the Rider Waite Smith deck. Like, there was one time that I was reading for someone using um, I think it was the Mystic Dreamer Tarot by Heidi Doris, and there was the Fool had a little like crossroads sign in it, like a little, like it was literally like a fool at a crossroads, and it had the sign with the crossroads like pointing different directions, and I believe it was like a raven on top of the sign. And so, and I pointed to the raven, and I'm just like, what is this? What is it with this raven? Like, what is it about ravens? And then she was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you're saying that right now. I cannot believe that you're talking about ravens right now. And then she like pulled aside like her shoulder strap, or like her, her sleeve, and there was this raven on her shoulder. Like, she had like a raven tattoo. She was just like, that's like my animal, like, I love them. And I can't remember what the question was. I don't even think it was necessarily a question, but it's just like that moment of like her tattoo basically showing up on the card just had this like very powerful meaning for her, where it's just like, well, okay, this is definitely your reading, and then this is definitely the deck that we should be using. So yeah, and I've learned to trust when that happens, because it's just it's another form of like synchronicity, which can also be a form of intuition as well. Synchronicity and deja vu can be um tools of intuition trying to put us onto the right path. So yeah, do we want to do the mid-episode reading? I won't do it with Diablo the Sanctuary. I can't remember who was not a huge fan of the deck when we did the unboxing the other week, but I can totally understand why. And I didn't pull it. I don't think I did card of the day today either. I was too busy with the reading that I had to give this morning. So, and then I was so tired. I think the eclipse really hit me, not necessarily yesterday, but today. I was just like I was just falling asleep. I felt like a narcoleptic. I was just taking naps. I was sitting on the couch, and I was trying to watch a couple other episodes of my comfort show, New Girl, and I just kept on falling asleep. It was so bad that I was actually like holding an empty bottle of ginger ale like in my hand, and I just like started to fall asleep, and I literally must have fallen asleep um enough that like the bottle just dropped out of my hand and fell on the floor and woke me up, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, like maybe I should just go to bed." But I looked at the time and I'm just like, "No, I can't go back to bed. That's just going to mess me up for the evening." So, but yeah, sometimes eclipses can affect you physically. Sometimes full moons can, or new moons. Like, um I feel like new moons energize me, and it's hard for me to get to sleep, and I feel like full moons I am like exhausted and I have to sleep for like 12 hours. It's like bad. Like, I will go to bed at like 9 p.m. on a full moon and like not feel bad about it, not wake up in the middle of the night either, not wake up at a weird time, and be able to go to bed at a regular time the next day. So, um so sometimes astrology can be physically taxing too. So it's always good to be aware of your cycles and how astrology affects you. So, but yeah, Diablo the Sanctuary is interesting. I had someone reach out to me that must have watched the unboxing replay like right away. Like, I must have just finished it up and then I was doing something else. And it's like, it was actually like one of my friends that texted me and was just like, "You think it's a gimmick?" And I'm just like, check back with me at the end of the month, and then I'll be able to tell you if it's gimmick, if it's a gimmick deck or not." It's just like, I can't tell you from the first impressions unboxing whether or not it's going to be a gimmick. Like, I have to work with it over a month to see how it reads. So, but yeah, we're not going to be doing the mid-episode reading using the Diablo the Sanctuary tarot deck, unless, of course, people want to. So, I will probably be using the Radiant Rider Waite Smith, or the Reflective Tarot, which is a little bit smaller and is based on the Radiant Rider Waite Smith. This one right here. I think so. It's like a miniaturized. It's littler. So it's like the size of my hand, and I don't have very big hands to begin with. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do the mid-episode reading. Oh no. Are you still seeing me on Facebook, guys, on the Book of Face? It says that Facebook stopped my broadcast. What the hell? All right, well, switch over to the tube of you. Unbelievable. I can't believe that they cut me off. Hold, please. I have no idea why they did that. All right. Well, Let me see. I don't even know what's going on here. Let me see. Yeah, so speaking of Mercury retrograde, right? Yep, I see it. Okay, I see your comments. It's interesting though because it's not coming up for me in my comments in my third party app, but I am seeing it over on the Tube of You. I This is the first time I've ever had that happen, but it literally said it popped up and said like Facebook has stopped your live, like check in with your terms of service, and it's just like that's the first time that's ever happened. I have a feeling that the spammers may have reported me because I was like, you know, making sure to moderate. So you never know. Maybe it's because I was attracting too much attention from, you know, not so savory people. I have no idea what happened there. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and refresh so that I can actually see the comments that are coming up. And hopefully it won't cut out, but if it does, like I might not come back again. I might just have to say see ya, that like that's it for tonight's episode. Yeah, I'm reading your comments. Hold on a second. Yeah, so Silver Capper said, not a fan of companion books. Yeah. Um Jenny's here. Hi Jenny. It's working okay on the Tube of You. Yeah, that's because the Book of Face didn't the Book of Face cut me off for some reason. Yeah. Watching here is fine. Cool, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing your comments. I just have to go into the Tube of You to see. Then yes, exactly. Exactly. Silver Capra says Mercury retrograde. You're damn right. Yes. And Dina's here too. Hi, Dina. Yeah, it got ended on Facebook. I literally got a pop-up notice that I've never seen before, saying, you know, whatever violation. I don't think it said violation necessarily, but it was just like Facebook has stopped your video for terms of service. Please click here. And I'm just like, okay, interesting. Like, oh my goodness. All right. That's crazy. All right, let me try and refresh and hopefully I can start to see your comments. Okay. Yeah, no, I like interesting. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the comments that I should be seeing coming up. Super fascinating. So I'm gonna have to go between. Yeah, Katie's saying it keeps saying it was going to resume the video on Facebook. Interesting. Let's see. But failed to. Yeah, it says we're having what is it? We're having trouble filming this video. Let me see here. Let's go back. Like super, super weird, right? But not surprising for Mercury in retrograde. Yeah, it stopped at 43 minutes and 17 seconds. That's just what it is. So, oh, let me see here. I should have I guess I should have taken a screenshot to show what happened. I don't know. All right. Let me press here, press here. So we're gonna still do the yeah. Katie's saying maybe a full restart of your system is required. Unfortunately, this means oh, well that popped up. Fran was here too, but I didn't even get to see that. So yeah, Katie is saying that a full restart may be needed, but I don't have time to do that right now. I'll attempt to do that at another time, but I don't want you all to lose out on you know the the reading basically. But let's see if the comment jar is actually going to work though this time, or the lottery jar is actually going to work this time, because it takes the comments that come up in here and puts them into the jar. So I don't know if that's actually going to work. So let's try it and see and hope for the best. Okay, mid episode reading. Let's go. Widgets, lottery jar, and also I'm going to do the comment snake. So we do have the comments from previously, but I don't know if it's going to necessarily work. So we may have to go back to my old school wheel of names, or the picker wheel, to do it, which we totally can do because we've done that before. We did it before we had the lottery jar option. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say the same thing that I say to everyone, or let's do it the old school way, um, and write a word. So let's pick which word. I think Mercury. Let's let's say Mercury is the word. So I have to update the crawler now. Um, let's see, right, the word Mercury. Let's update that and let's show that. Cool. So Jenny, we've got Jenny, we've got Benevolent Corvus, we've got Dina, we've got Silver Capra. Let's see. Let's do the Wheel of Names. I think the Wheel of Names I can copy and paste. So, yeah, I can. So, let's see here. So, Jenny, Benevolent Corvus, Dina, Silver Capra so far. All right, there I am again. I don't know what the hell happened. I'm waiting for my face to pop back up. There I am. Thanks everyone for your patience because I have no idea what just happened there. And that's what I was worried about was if I went over to the other tab, I'm not able to see what you guys are seeing. And then all of a sudden my face was gone and it was just the background. So, let's see if we can get through the mid-episode reading, um and then wrap things up with the weekend forecast and then just stop pissing off Mercury. I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm gonna have to look into that. Let me take down these widgets that might be affecting things. Because we have 4 people so far, but I want to make sure that the time lag is not messing with anything either. So let me write contest closes in a minute. Let's just give it another minute. I'm going to move it over to here. Yeah. Well, welcome, Silver Capra. I'm not sure if this is the first episode that you've attended live, but you're getting the brunt of Mercury in retrograde. Yeah, and it's like severely lagging too. It's just chunky. All right, time is up. And I know that there is a lag between between what you're seeing and when I'm recording. It's about like, I don't know. I think it might be about a 30-second lag. So just bear with me on it. Like, you will get your reading once I pull the name. So and I wish I could share the comments on screen, but Katie is saying Mercury wants us all to take a rest. Early mark for Hilary. Maybe pizza for you, Hilary. Ooh, that's a good idea. Well, we haven't had, yeah, early night for me, right? Um, that's a good idea because I am getting a little bit peckish. I won't lie. All right, let us try and do the Wheel of Names. Let me tempt fate yet again and try and share this screen here. So we have Jenny, we have Benevolent Corvus, we have Dina, we have Silver Capra. So we're using the Wheel of Names spinner. And I'm just going to leave everything up as is. I'm going to try and close some of these ads and I'm going to hope for the best here. So let's go ahead and take down the side navigation, hide all the shown items, and we're gonna do the Wheel of Names. So share screen. And tab audio. Here we go. All right. And that I will show on screen. Here we go. So we have Jenny, we have Benevolent Corvus, we have Dina, we have Silver Capra. All right, we are going to spin. All right, we have a winner, and it is Jenny. So thank you all for participating in the mid-episode reading. Jenny, if you go ahead and put your question into the chat box so I can see it, so that we can give that 3-card reading for you. Can someone jump back over to the Book of Face and let people know that we're doing this over on YouTube? That would be very, very helpful. Because unfortunately there are some regular viewers that think like, oh, the live stream's just done. And it's like, nope, we are on the tube of you. So please join on the tube of you. And I'm just seeing those comments like come through now, which is ridiculous. I'm not getting any of the comments that are happening over on the tube of you though. It's bizarre. So I don't know what's going on. So lots of love in there. Congratulations to Jenny, and I will be looking in the chat for your question, and I will pull 3 cards from the Reflective Tarot to answer your question once we have it in the chat. But I'm also pushing myself over to my Be Live studio to make sure everything is still functioning as best as I can manage. And I will throw this back up here. And put mid-episode reading. Actually, I can probably type it into the chat, but I haven't been seeing it. Like, I haven't even been seeing my own comments come up onto this chat. So I don't know if I'd be able to write something in and then display it. So who knows? All right, let me stop sharing that. Okay, so Jenny's question, and I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling as I read this question out loud. Okay, cool. Jenny's question is, my divorce was final last month, and I've recently moved to a new state. My question is, should I give up on finding a male companion, or is there hope? By the way, I turn 65 next month, and thanks for congrat. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can copy this and thank you, by the way, to Katie. I can see this now. So the comments are coming through. This is the most bizarre thing ever, because I should be able to see both the comments for the Tube of You and the Book of Face. And it seems like now the Book of Face comments are showing up here, but not the Tube of You. And the Book of Face, the video is not working, but the Tube of You it is. So it's kind of bizarre. I don't know what's going on there, but thank you to Katie for mentioning it. And also thank you to Dina for mentioning it. So I'm very sorry. Like, hopefully Fran pops over to the YouTube. I'm sorry you didn't make it. Make it for the question, but you know, there's always next week, and hopefully we won't have these issues anymore. I don't know what the hell happened. It's very bizarre. But I have a feeling, it's might be a combination of Mercury in retrograde. It might be a combination of a lot of those spammers showing up. You know, I don't know. So let me see if I can. Yeah, I believe. I think it's probably showing up over on Facebook, but it's not showing up here. I have no idea why. Anyway, yeah, it showed. Like Katie, it showed. Your comment showed, so I don't get it. Anyway, to the question at hand. Okay, so should you give up on finding a male companion, or is there hope? Well, for me, I am ever the optimistic tarot reader. So I'm going to always say that there's always hope, you know, even before the cards come out. But let's see how that can happen, because yes or no questions, like the tarot can answer yes or no questions, but it usually doesn't like to answer yes or no questions, and it's more about how or motivation or what can you do. So we already have a flyer card, so I'm going to pull two more. Wow. I think there should be okay, so you're getting, I will hold up each of these in turn, but what I'm getting is all reversed cards. So it's just like knowing that you don't have control. Okay, well, you didn't even knock, honey. Jesus, you scared the crap out of me. Hold on, let me make sure everything's still recording there. Okay. So I will hold up each of these cards in turn as I talk about them, but you are getting all reversed cards here. So like the you know, in order to find find love and find companionship, it's just like there are some things that you can control and there are other things that you simply can't control. So to me, all reversed cards are an indication of like, you know, let go of the things that you can't control and be really precise about the things that you can control. Like you can control what the environment that you put yourself in. You can control whether or not you go to libraries or different places or different meeting spots. You can control whether or not you like look for companionship online. You can control whether or not you go onto a dating site, if that's your bag or not. Like I can understand it from either side. But you can't control, you know, attraction or love or interest or, so that is kind of like my overall summation is just like release the things that you can't control and be super specific about the things that you can control in order to um find that male companionship, you know um so that's like it feels like a very glib answer, but it is like it's almost like you're not fine, like you're getting a little bit frustrated about it because it's like the focus is on the things that you can't control instead of on the things that you can control. So it's just like you kind of have to flip that switch. You kind of have to do that 180 and focus on those things that you can control. And that may be just from the reversals of the cards. That may be the fact that I went to therapy today and that was kind of a theme that came up. And it's just like, well, you have to release the things that you can't control. And I'm just like, yeah, that's very true, but it's easier said than done. So But the reason why I'm saying that is because you are getting the Fool card coming up reversed, for the first card, and this was the Flyer card. I'm going to make sure that I'm in this window over here so that I can actually see what I'm holding up in real time. So again, this is the reflective tarot. So it's got that iridescent sheen to it. But the Fool coming up reversed is that, like, that willingness to try, even if there is that possibility of getting hurt. Like, that is kind of the main thing, or the main message right now. It's just like there's always, like, with putting yourself out there, there's always that risk of getting hurt. There's always that risk of vulnerability. And having the reversed Fool card is not a sign that you don't try. It's that you start to try in maybe smaller ways, so that the bigger ways become a little bit less scary. There's always going to be fear there. But, with time and with, like, exposure, basically, the fear will start to lessen, so that you are not letting fear keep be in the driver's seat. You're allowing fear to be a passenger on this new phase in your life. Does that make sense? Just let me know in the chat. Then you do have the Four of Wands coming up, also reversed, because it's just like, I think what's got you a little bit nervous is that, you don't need the marriage. You don't need to marry again. Like, you just want the companionship part, you know? Oh, good. Okay. So I'm pretty happy actually on my own, but I would like to have a man friend to do things with now and then. You're right, exactly. So that's kind of where I'm seeing the Four of Wands reversed, as like a little bit of a hesitancy there, where it's just like, being honest about that, but also like finding someone that agrees with you in that area. And I mean, like, my mom doesn't watch this, so I'll tell this story very briefly. She was with someone for, I think, 10 years, maybe longer than that. After my parents got divorced, she was with this person for like over 10 years. And the reason why they broke up, I really think, was because she was very firm about not wanting to ever get married again, and she was happy with the way things were. She was happy with their companionship, and he was not. And so he eventually broke up with her because that was a deal breaker for him. And so I think, in your situation, that it's just like, if you have that as like a deal breaker, then, and saying it up front, it could potentially be, a smaller pool of people, but it could bring you to that male companion that you are looking for, because you just want to be very straightforward and honest about, like, no, I'm not interested in marrying again. And the reason why I'm saying this, like, please stop me if I'm wrong, but the Four of Wands, when upright, is usually an indication of like a marriage, wedding, gathering kind of situation. So I'll show it to you upright. It's kind of like this, like, almost this wedding chuppah, this floral garland over this couple with bouquets up in the air, saying like, we made it, we did it, but with the reversal, to me, with the question that you're asking, it's just like, I think it's like, I don't need that. I just need this, Otherwise, you would have phrased it differently too. You would have been like, I want to get married again, right? Like, but you're phrasing it exactly for what you want. I want a male companion. I want someone to spend time with. I want someone to, like, have a go out and have a date with, have drinks with, take a walk with, right? Um, and that, I think it's very possible, but I think you need to be very forthright about your deal breakers, your preferences, your deal breakers, your boundaries right out of the gate. And that might it might feel very counterintuitive because like you don't want to scare people off, but at the same time you're just like you're saying like I'm 65, like I don't have time to like beat around the bush. I don't have time for first, second, third, 50 dates, in order for them us to find out, 2 years in that we're not ultimately compatible or that he wants marriage and I don't, you know? Yeah. So you're saying, yes, exactly. No more husbands for me. I can understand that. And it's rather like this is something that my mother never understood, that it's just like I like I'm like, mom, like you have to understand that it's just you you think that you were being very very forthright about it, but at the same time I don't think you were, because I think he still had the hope that he was going to change your mind. But clearly this is something that's important to him because he kept on bringing it up over and over again. This wasn't like a, you know, this wasn't like a spur of the moment thing. It meant something to him. And for my mom it just didn't, and but she couldn't understand why that would be a deal breaker. So, you know, it's kind of like like shoe on the other foot kind of situation there. But like, yeah, so having the fool come up reversed and the four of wands reversed is just like be very clear. Like I know that seems counterintuitive to like put it all out there on the table from the get-go. And it may seem like the pool is going to be smaller, but it's just like, but you're not going to waste time, you know? There you go, Jenny. That's how I ended up married to my last husband. There you go. So it's just like now's the time to be picky, right? And he kept asking and pushing for it. I see. Okay. So that's like now's the time to be picky, and I know that sounds very counterintuitive to what you're asking about. It's just like, oh, I can't afford to be picky because, then I won't have any companionship. But it's just like, but the quality will be so much higher, and I think it's possible for you. But the pool is going to be smaller. So and then the final card is the Page of Cups, so also reversed. So I think it's definitely about optimism and mindset. And like what you were saying before, I'm pretty happy actually on my own, but it would be a bonus. I would like to have that man friend to do things with. It's just like, and I think that's kind of the attitude that you need to cultivate. Not that you're not cultivating it already, but it's just like, I feel like the Page of Cups coming up reversed is kind of like, don't discount certain people. Like there could be someone that might be younger than you that's also not looking for marriage, but also can be male companionship. And it's just like I would like keep your options like really open, even if you have that thing in the back of your head. It's just like why this person. It's just like why like it feels like a very unusual thing. And the reason why I'm saying that is because what sometimes when I see the Page of Cups and I'm thinking about people, like court cards as people versus like environment or situations, um, think about, think about the Page of Cups talking to a fish. This is a very unusual person. This is a very eccentric person. And I think it's kind of like the relationships that like seem like they're not going to work on paper, but they ended up working beautifully. I think that is in the cards for you, pun kind of intended. But there has to be an openness to it. And it might be someone that's a little bit younger than you. It could be 5 years younger. It could be even be 10 years younger. But I wouldn't discount it out of hand. So that is the overall reading that I'm seeing right now for you. Like, yes, there's always hope. I know you mentioned like that. I love that about you, Hillary. Like, I am trying to be an optimist about it. But at the same time, it's just like release the things that you can't control. Be precise about the things that you can. Definitely about like that thing about control is like what you were saying about your last husband, pushing, asking for it, it's just like, now is your time, like, be very be very precise and dedicated to the things that you want, the things that you need right now. Because that, like, knowing what you want, or knowing what you want will push away the things that you don't want. And knowing what you don't want will help you get clear about the things that you do want. And that clarity and that conciseness and that preciseness, that is going to lead you to that male companionship that's not out of the question for you. I think it's a very reasonable thing. And I think that you are looking not necessarily for a partner, but you're looking for someone that can enhance your life. You know, you don't need anyone to complete you. You're complete on your own. But, finding that companionship, it's a bonus. Like, be very exacting about the things that you can control. And you can definitely control your preferences. You can definitely control, um, you know, how you feel about something. And don't allow any person to wear you down on what your preferences are and what your beliefs are. Yeah. I think that's good for the reading. So, let me know if that makes sense to you. Let me know that I'm still recording here. Yeah. So Jenny says, yes, I'll keep all options open and be clear if I do meet someone. And I like eccentric. Good. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm seeing eccentric for you, honestly. Like this, it's an eccentric guy. Like, and he's wearing a funny hat too. Like, sometimes I'll say that too to make people laugh. It's just like, he's wearing a funny hat and he's talking to a fish. Like, you can't get more eccentric than that. You're very, very welcome, Jenny. All right. Does anybody have any other questions, comments, general questions about the tarot before we move into the weekend forecast? Because I feel like I'm on borrowed time here with the Facebook, the book of face cutting out before. Very strange. I can't believe it cut off at 47 minutes. It's incredibly strange. I have theories though. I have a feeling that my live stream was reported by one of the people that was trying to scam off of you guys. That's what I think happened. What do you think? If we get pizza, should we get garlic knots too? I'm kind of feeling the garlic knots with the marinara sauce and mozzarella sticks. Ooh, would that be bad if I got mixed? Getting very hungry. All right, I'm going to go for the Work Your Light Oracle deck. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jenny. I'm not meaning to make anybody as hungry as I am right now. Let's move on to the weekend forecast. Let's see. Did anyone need any recommendations of like shows? Because today I was watching Alaskan Daily, that show with Hilary Swank as a reporter. And I watched the first like couple of episodes by myself, and then I ended up watching it like in the living room. And my husband was there, and he got like really wrapped up in it. So now I can't move forward and watch it without him because he's now wrapped up in the story. So now I have to watch it with him together. Um, so that's been really good. We've been watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is in its final season. We're not all the way caught up yet because the new episode dropped yesterday. We haven't gotten an opportunity to watch it yet. We might watch that while we're eating dinner tonight. Really, really liked The Night Agents. That was on Netflix. That one season on Netflix, it just dropped a couple weeks ago, and we ended up like just binging the entire first season. That was really good. Oh yes, Jenny's asking about the tip jar link. Yes, I can drop it in there. It's really easy. PayPal.me/tarot by Hilary NY. But let me go ahead and do that. Okay. There you go. That is in the chat. PayPal.me/tarot by Hilary NY. Never expected, but always appreciated. Yeah, so Night Agent was really good. What else? Oh, I've been watching this really cute show. I actually have to get back to it because I'm a few episodes away from the ending of it. I'm not sure how many seasons it's going to get, but it's a show from I think Sao Paulo, Brazil, called This Is Luna. But I mean that's not the name of the show in its native Portuguese. But I've been watching it in Portuguese with English subtitles. And it's super cute. And it's about a woman who does the horoscopes, and she basically asks the cards for the horoscopes, and the cards like talk to her. It's super super cute. It's on, I believe, HBO Max, if you wanted to check that out. Um, so yeah, I can't remember what else I've been watching. Tried to start watching The Legend of Vox Machina because that's based on like critical role campaigns. That's been really good too. It's been very funny. So and then I keep on like I have to catch up on Book of Boba Fett. I have not watched Book of Boba Fett, which means I have not watched or been able to watch season 3 of The Mandalorian. So no spoilers, please. All right, weekend forecast. Yeah, Jenny's saying, love Miss Maisel. Need to circle back to Alaska Daily. Always looking for new shows to watch. Yeah, like Alaska Daily really took me by surprise because like I'm not a huge like I never really thought that I was a huge fan of Hilary Swank. I definitely appreciate her as an actress. I also appreciate that she spells her name the same way as me so that it like gives an option to people. It's just like, no, no, not like Hillary Clinton, like Hilary Swank. Um, and at my newer job, you know, I do wear a name tag, and it is spelled correctly because my boss has known me for a while. And he knows I'm like very sensitive about that. Um, and there have been a few customers that have come in and just like, oh, Hillary, like Hillary Clinton. And I'm just like, no, not like Hillary Clinton. But yeah, she's really really good in it, and you know, I think the entire cast is excellent. So I'd be curious about Alaska Daily, how if you've watched it, Jenny, or did you start it and then stop it? Because like I think I'm on like episode 6. I don't know. But I've been watching it on Hulu. I haven't been watching it on ABC. I just keep on forgetting to watch it. So, all right. Weekend forecast. What do we need to know for this weekend? Besides all of the Mercury retrograde stuff, which is clearly kicking in pretty immediately. All right, yowzers. We've got the card Align Your Life. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? So I am going to look that up in the table of contents. $34. So that is an inquiry card. The first of the inquiry card suit. Jenny, I've watched 2 or 3, then started binging Gilmore Girls, which I've never seen. Oh, that's a good suggestion. I watched Gilmore Girls off and on, but I never really watched it like all the way through. So that's a good one. I'm gonna have to do that. All right, align your life. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be. But there comes a time when it is harder to hold onto this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we have changed and align life to that way of being. If you pull this card, you're being called to let go of who you once were or the things that you once defined yourself by, the job, the relationship, and the mask you wore, and to embrace who you truly are now, to courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity, to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you've outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it is time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so that they are congruent with who you truly are today. What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? That's a big question. That is a big question for us this weekend. So I encourage all of you to answer that question for yourself, to be kind to yourself while doing so. Yeah. And thank you all so much for your patience with the Book of Face thing. I don't know what happened there. I will look into it. And also feel free to give me any suggestions you might have for topics for upcoming episodes. All right, I think that's it. Let me go ahead and take down this overlay and put this up here and remove the crawler for the weekend forecast. All right. Good. Well, thank you all so much for watching. And we will do this again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Book of Face and the Tube of You. Hopefully the Book of Face is going to be cooperating next week. I will definitely look into it. And if you'd like to book a reading with me or a tapping session with me, you can do so by booking at tarotbyhilary.com right here, www.tarotbyhilary.com. It is a pleasure to do this live stream for you every single week. And I'll see you again next time. Have a great one. Be kind to yourself. Again, double and triple check your travel plans if you happen to be traveling this weekend, because Mercury is in retrograde. And as we've seen here, it has been affecting technology. All right. Once again, this is Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, your own intuition, because like you have it, don't argue with me. That is the gift that you have innately, and you can learn to get back in touch with your intuition at any time. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have to, yes, Jenny, I'm definitely going to have to convince, I think it's pizza time tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Katie, I will be sending you healing energy through surrogate tapping. If you want to learn about surrogate tapping, just search on the Tube of You, Tap with Brad, I believe is his username, and just search surrogate tapping. It should pop right up. He's like one of the first people that popped up when I wrote surrogate tapping. So definitely try it out. Let me know how it goes. All right. See you next time, next week, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.